Outlet greatness.
I'm Paul McCallum, CFL kicker, Hall of Famer for 2022, and I'm here on the Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Born in Surrey, what was childhood like for you growing up?
Oh boy, you know what? It's funny when you ask a question like that. I mean, childhood in Surrey was amazing. I was basically grew up on a grid road and had a bicycle. I actually looked after a horse down the street, all the hobby farms. So I was always riding horses bareback, and my bike in the dirt. Lots of fun. I really wish that some of the kids today would be able to have lived that type of life, but it's technology, electronics has taken over.
That's for sure. I remember growing up where we had like 20-person hockey games in the streets of Coquitlam.
Yeah. I mean, we played street hockey as well, and then my buddy's place was up a bit of a hill. We used to sit on the skateboards and just drive or sit and ride right into traffic.
Oh yeah, we go kind of like they do in White Rock.
Yes, well, not as steep in Surrey, but yeah, for sure.
Okay. How did your soccer career as a kid help prepare you for your football career? And I know you were part of Team BC that went over and played in Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, when I was my parents being Scottish and my dad playing soccer, I mean, I was given a ball when I was, I think, like 3, and I was just always walking around kicking a ball is what I did. And I loved soccer, and I'd always hear about my cousin who played for Celtic over in Scotland, and being a soccer player in Canada at the time wasn't quite the same. So I always dreamed about going over to Europe, and so I'm from 4 years on. That's what I did. I played soccer, a little bit of baseball, and my parents didn't understand football, so I was always the kid that would kick the ball far, kick it high, and then going through Team BC Canada games, and way back it was called the 86ers. There was a reserve team as part of that. It just is one of those things where I loved kicking a ball. It's hard to explain, really. I was kind of good at it, and anyway, it just I could do so much with a soccer ball that kicking a football just was a little bit. I wouldn't say it was easy because it's shaped differently, but I was able to adapt, and so I think kicking a soccer ball it's never in the same position. So I think it helped a lot in learning to kick a football.
So I was wondering, we're joined by Chad now, but my question I got for you is, can you tell a story on how you first got signed as a free agent in Hamilton as a walk-on?
Oh, Hamilton's an interesting story. So I was playing soccer in BC, and with I think it was a BC Select under 18s, and what happened was the coach, I had a very bad experience with a coach, which would never wish on anybody. And so I had stopped, and then I came back. And when I was playing junior football, the BC Lions, I guess they saw me. I came back from Europe from trying to play professional soccer, and I came back, and my buddies were playing down at Bear Creek Park in Surrey. And I guess the scout, director of player personnel, was watching. So I was practicing with them and as a junior. And then I found out it was the first year that they would allow juniors to go to the CIS Combine. And so I actually found out last minute you had to get a referral. There was guys from the Okanagan that were going, Chad Folk and some others from Okanagan. And so I actually paid my own way, and I went to Winnipeg to the free agent camp, or the evaluation camp, rather. And Don Matthews from Saskatchewan saw me, and I was punting and kicking field goals in their indoor dome. And he's like talking, goes, well, I think we're going to sign you. And then unbeknownst to me, I go home. Don calls me again. He said, we're going to send you a contract. Then he calls me back and says, we can't because Hamilton put me on the neg list. So I was like, what the heck is that? So anyway, they were having problems with Paulus Baldwin. contract, so they signed me. So that's how I ended up going to Hamilton for a training camp, and I got to meet and hang out with Paul Osbaldiston and create a bit of a friendship. And obviously, as soon as he signed, they cut me, and then I came back to BC, and Saskatchewan signed Mike Vanderjack, and so I went back to driving handy dart vans and waiting till Louis got hurt. So that's how that happened. But I'd already been to training camp as a junior with the Lions.